Hi there, it's Ken here again from Ken's Christmas Village. I thought I would start off this season by reintroducing you to one of my pet hates, and that is small buildings or market stalls that come without a light in, so that the poor chap that's working, selling away whatever it is he's selling, he's working in the dark, which we know he wouldn't like to do. Now, to install lights in things like this, and you've seen me do it in trucks and other buildings in previous years, I use two types of LEDs. This first one here is very, very tiny. And in fact, what I'm going to do is plug it in so you can see when it comes to light. Very, very small. 4.5 volt LEDs. This tiny one, what I do is put a sticky bud on them and stick them up to roofs, ceilings, or behind buildings, or wherever I need a light, I will use one of these. The other sorts that I use are these ones. Now, these are great to use because they have on the back a sticky tape. Now, you buy these in strips of 2s or 4s, and you will see here where there's a line across where that copper strip is, and you can cut them. And in fact, for the stall that I'm going to work on today, it's called Santa Claws and Paws, and it does not come with a light. What I used was one of these, but I cut it so that I just had one light. And I'm going to show you what I did with that one light. If I turn this, you can just see up there in the ceiling. If I get my finger around there, can you see up there in the ceiling? I've just got that one sticky LED, stuck it up to the ceiling. And then if I turn this building round, you will see that I've taken the cable from the LED. I've then wound it round this pole to tie in with the stripes, taking it down the bottom, and then right at the bottom you will see that I've just notched the base with one of these tiny needle files just to make that smooth in. If I wanted to, I could fill that in just to make it smooth, but I've taken it under there and the cable ends up underneath. So easy to do, inobtrusive, not going to bother anyone. And the cable then I bury it away under the snow. Now, what I've done this time is you could fit to the end of the wire one of these little sockets, which work with a couple of screws. You put your wire in and away it goes, and you plug your Lemax adapter into that. But what I used on this stall this year was these. I found these for the first time on Amazon this year. And you can buy them in male or female, and they are 2.1mm sockets or 2.1mm male adapters as well. The cable is a little bit heavier than I would have liked, but in fact, by the time I buried it under the snow, you won't see it. It's going to come out the back of the building, buried under snow, and it will disappear. So what I've now got is my cable coming off from the bottom of the stall. I've used, I don't know what these are called, but these are, you put them over a cable and then you use heat, a match or a little something that generates a flame and some heat, and these melt around your cable and insulate where you've put a join together. So what I've done is fix one of these sockets onto the other end. So I've got my cable coming off from the building into the socket. And there is my stall. And if I now plug this in, you will see when I do that, how we now have a lovely light inside. So the man selling treats for doggies and cats is now no longer working in the dark. And I find that much better. The LEDs that I use, you can buy them in cool or warm. And I've said before in the past, I mix up both on my market stalls. I've got some warm lights and some cool lights because I've got family in Germany and we go to the markets out there every year, and the lighting varies so much in stalls that you don't need to have it all the same. So mix cool and warm together in different buildings and you will find it gives a very, very natural effect. So there we have a lovely little stall to enhance your marketplace with a light for keep the man happy so he's not working in the dark. Okay, I hope you found that useful and I will see you again soon. Happy villaging to you all. Bye for now.